Hi everyone, Dr. Elizabeth Hughes here. Today I want to talk about the idea of responsibility and your health. Now, this is something that's come up with a bunch of my clients recently. This idea of feeling responsible for their own health problems. And that usually comes down to an idea of blame or being at fault or somehow causing or even willfully wanting to be sick in some way. Now, this is kind of ridiculous because nobody wants to be seriously ill. Not in any real way. That's not what people want. But people are led, and patients are led to feel that way oftentimes, unfortunately, by doctors. Doctors oftentimes have a sense of blame or fault when they talk to patients. And that reverberates really deeply. That feels so painful to a person who's otherwise struggling with their health. It's like not something you need. It's not something you need from your doctor to have your doctor either overtly, outright blaming you, or just to get sort of a hint or an idea, my doctor is blaming me for my illness. And here's the thing, we all want to know what is responsible for our illness. We all want to know what the cause is, what the real cause is. But that idea of responsibility is associated always with some sort of fault finding. I mean, that's kind of how it is in our minds. You know, you can just picture yourself as a child making a big mess and a parent walking in and saying, who's responsible for this mess here? That word responsible comes with a whole lot of negative baggage, to say the least. And nobody wants to be responsible for something bad. That's not what we want. All right, there's a different way to think about responsibility. And this is the way I think about it, is responsibility is not just you have the blame, it's your fault, you've got to clean this up. Responsibility is a word that has response and ability in it. And it's not something where you are the cause of a problem, but that you have the ability to respond to any situation, including your health. Responsibility, as I see it, means that you have a choice. That the power of how you are going to take care of yourself lies in your hands, and that's exciting. That's empowering. You don't have to take blame when you think of responsibility. You can take a choice and do something that is appropriate for your health. We all respond to what happens to our bodies, what happens in our health all the time. I do it, you do it, everybody does it. We all respond. We can't help but respond. When our health feels like it's under attack or our health feels threatened, it kicks in this survival instinct. And for many people, that's the response that is automatically triggered. And when I say many people, I mean like everybody, because it's normal. But when you take responsibility for your health, you're able to choose whether or not you're going to go into that survival, fight or flight mode versus choose another way that is more nurturing, more healthful for you. You have a choice in how you respond. You can look past the fear and pain. I'm not saying that they're not there. I'm not saying that you should just face pain and illness with a stoic face, but to choose something else other than fight or flight. Because fight or flight actually makes pain and makes anxiety worse. It actually compounds all of the negative things you're feeling. Learning to have responsibility for your health takes some training. It doesn't come to us naturally. And usually by the time we're adults, we've gotten into a pattern of how we respond to our illness and how we respond to things that feel bad in our body in a very narrow way. And that's okay. That's all right. That's normal. It's part of being alive and being human. But when you don't like where that response has led you, you have the ability to respond differently. And you can learn how, and that's what I help people do, is learn how to respond differently to their physical challenges. So yesterday I talked about how breaking my arm changed my life, that it was probably the best thing or one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And that's sort of an ideal situation to talk about responsibility in medicine, like how I responded. I could have thought about all the things I was missing, thought about all of the the pain, how it just felt awkward. Who wants to be a 13-year-old with a cast on? And I had braces. It was just, 13's not good anyway. And yes, there was a little bit of that. I'm not perfect, I'm not gonna lie. But I also took some lesson, some meaning, and I found something in that experience that was inspirational. You may have a hard time believing this now, but inside every adversity we face, there really is a little point where we can gain inspiration. There really are silver linings in all of those clouds. And when you choose how you respond, when you have responsibility, you can see those moments of silver linings. And then I don't like to use the word magical, but there are things that happen in terms of how your body responds that cannot be explained by regular medicine when you choose a different way to respond and find those moments of inspiration and find the information your body is trying to give you. That's what I'm going to leave you with today, the idea of responsibility in medicine. You always have the ability to respond. Okay, well, it's been great fun being with you, and I will be back again in the future. If you want to know more, you can go to my website, www.elizabethhughesmd.com. I have a lot more information, or you can just scroll through the channel here and take a look at it. But one way or another, we'll see each other soon. All right, so bye for now.